TOW discovery. BMP-2. The BMP-2 is the second generation of infantry fighting vehicles, designed and manufactured by the Soviet Union since the 1980s. Compared to the BMP-1, the BMP-2 is not very different, with only a few improvements made to enhance the vehicle's self-defense capabilities. These improvements were decided upon after the BMP-1 participated in actual combat and revealed its weaknesses during the Yom Kippur War. The BMP-2 has a wider turret compared to the BMP-1. The commander will sit in the turret along with the gunner. In addition to the crew, the vehicle can carry a maximum of 7 soldiers, instead of 8 like the BMP-1. The firepower on the vehicle has become stronger with the 2 42 30mm automatic cannon, the coaxial 7.62mm PKT machine gun with 2,000 rounds, and the 9M111 Faggot or 9M113 Konkurs anti-tank missiles. In addition, the vehicle can be equipped with an RPG-7 with a standard ammunition load of 5 rounds. The number of firing ports on each side of the vehicle is reduced to 2. The armor of the vehicle has been reinforced. Surveillance and sniping systems. The BMP-2 vehicles manufactured since the 1970s have relatively good night vision capabilities by the standards of that time, but they are now quite outdated. They must use active infrared lighting, which exposes the vehicle's position at night during combat. The old BMP-2 does not have an automatic rangefinder, but measures distance using marked height indicators that the vehicle commander or gunner will use to compare the target with these marks to calculate the range. The night sight of the early BMP-2 is very difficult to use to hit targets at distances over 1,000 meters due to the equipment being incomplete. The commentator from the National Defense Industrial News, who is an officer that previously served in the Southern Military Region, stated, "I am very familiar with the BMP-3 and BMP-2 vehicles, and can compare the two types. It must be acknowledged that according to current standards, the operation of the BMP-2 crew is truly outdated. The vehicle commander detects the target using the TAN-3B sight, the observation device of the BMP-2 commander according to the thousandths formula, mentally calculating the distance and directing the gunner, who selects the distance on their sight according to the specialized scale. There are 3 rows of markings, 1 for armor-piercing rounds, 1 for fragmentation shells, and 1 specifically for machine guns. Only then can we fire. Even a well-trained crew requires 20-30 seconds for this, sometimes up to a minute, and in a direct confrontation. In modern combat, this means certain casualties for our vehicle. The old BMP-2 lacks a thermal sight, a rangefinder, and even a panoramic sight for the vehicle commander. Compared to modern fire control systems today, after detecting a target, not only is the firing range automatically calculated, but all adjustments are also made, and the tracking system will automatically follow the opponent to the end. The gunner must turn to the side, and in the cramped space of the BMP-2. This is not easy. The controls for the anti-tank missiles are also inconvenient. It's understandable that in the 1980s this was a groundbreaking solution, but today it is truly impractical. Additionally, the missile system's Konkurs or Faggot mounted on the BMP-2, depending on the variant, are outdated anyway. Upgrade these old BMP to S. The Russian military and several other countries have introduced various upgrade packages for the BMP-2 sighting system, including new night vision goggles, laser rangefinders, and ballistic computers. Although the BMP-1 is a revolutionary design, its main weapon, the TUA-28 Grom and the 9S-428 ACM launcher, capable of firing the 9M14 Miliutka and 9M14M Miliutka M atoms, quickly became outdated. Therefore, the Soviet Union decided to produce an updated and improved version of the BMP-1. The main focus was on enhancing the main weapon. In 1972, work began on developing an improved version of the BMP-1. In their first combat debut during the Arab-Israeli War of 1973, the BMPs of Egypt and Syria proved vulnerable to 50 caliber machine gun fire from the sides and rear, as well as to the M40 105mm recoilless rifle. The Tu-28 Grom was found to be inaccurate at distances beyond 500 meters, and the 9M14 Milyutka missile could not be effectively guided from the turret range. Some technical teams from the Soviet Union were sent to Syria after the war to gather information. These lessons, combined with observations of the development of Western apps, led to a project to replace the original BMP in 1974. The result was the BMP-1P upgrade, considered a temporary solution to address the most serious issues with the current design. Smoke grenade launchers were added to the rear of the turret, and the manually guided 9M14 Milyutka missile system was replaced by the semi-automatic 9K111 Faggot 9M113 Conquer system. The BMP-1P was produced in the late 1970s. The existing BMP-1 vehicles were gradually upgraded to the BMP-1P standard in the 1980s. The BMP-2 is essentially similar to the BMP-1. The most significant changes are: the commander now sits alongside the gunner in a larger two-man turret. The weapon has been changed to the Tu-42 30mm automatic cannon and the 9P135M ACM launcher, capable of firing guided anti-tank missiles such as the Soklos 9M111 Faggot, 9M113 Conkers, and 9M113M Conkers M. It can only carry 7 troops instead of 8. There are 2 hatches at the rear of the vehicle for infantry instead of 4. The armor has been slightly improved. The main weapon is a turret with a stabilized 30mm Tu-42 automatic cannon with 2 ammunition feed lines, providing options for 3 UR-6 APT and 3 UR-6 PT3U-8 HI ammunition, as well as the 9M113 Conkers ACM. The gun has a selectable rate of fire, either slow at 200 to 300 rounds per minute, or fast at 550 rounds per minute. This allows for a continuous firing time of 100,150 seconds, or just 55 seconds, depending on the selected firing rate before running out of ammunition. The initial stabilization system provides reasonable accuracy at speeds of up to about 35 kilometers per hour. APT rounds can penetrate 15mm of armor at a 60-degree angle, at a distance of 1,500 meters. The new tungsten APT rounds can penetrate 25mm at the same distance. The standard ammunition load is 160 AP rounds and 340 HE rounds. The rounds are stored in 2 trays located on the floor behind the turret. The gun can be fired from the position of the commander or the gunner. The 1PZ3 sighting system for the commander is specifically designed for air defense operations. Combined with a maximum elevation of 74 degrees, it allows the 30mm cannon to be effectively used against helicopters and slow-flying aircraft. The turret is powered for rotation and elevation, capable of rotating 360 degrees in 10.8 seconds and elevating to 74 degrees in 12.33 seconds. Thank you for watching. Remember, like, subscribe.